for our company. Just a little lovely entertainment while people were making their way in. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another exciting and fun episode of Those Thrilling Days of Yesteryear, a live recreation of your favorite shows from the golden age of radio. Well, it's nearly time for the Academy Awards, and as by watching TV, you're probably aware that the battle for the little golden man is getting pretty serious. So today, we thought we'd take a lighter side, a look at the lighter side of Hollywood with two movie-themed shows from 1951 and 1952. Now, the first is The Magnificent Montague, a short-lived but hilarious show that starred Monty Woolley, and which was created and written by Nat Hiken, who later on went to create the Sergeant Bilko television show for Phil Silvers. Now, several classic comedy actors got their start in this show, including Art Carney, and in this particular episode, from January 19th, 1951, Montague and his maid take a tour of Hollywood with Jim Backus, who later on went to be the millionaire from Gilligan's Island and Mr. Magoo. Now, in this episode, fallen Shakespearean actor and boorish ham Edwin Montague has been offered a leading role in a new Hollywood film of Macbeth. Now, while he'd rather be on stage, Montague concedes, or rather, his ego concedes. But as we'll see, they don't call it the City of Lost Souls for nothing. And in between our shows, we'll feature our own Aaron Wolfenson and Pam Turlo singing a tune which won the Academy Award for Best Song in 1951. It was a popular tune in that day, co-written by Johnny Mercer and Hoagie Carmichael. Listen and see if you can guess the name of the song. And then finally, we'll end it all with an episode of the Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny, which originally aired September 28, 1952, and featured a parody of the classic Academy Award winner, High Noon. In fact, this sketch was so popular and packed with soon-to-be classic bits that 6 months later, Benny repeated it by popular demand. Incidentally, by this time, Phil Harris, who was on the show, and the band leader, had left the show to work full-time on his spin-off program, The Phil Harris and Alice Faye Show. So, Bing Crosby's brother, Bob, that's a mouthful, Bing Crosby's brother, Bob, took over the show as Jack's new orchestra leader to handle the music. Speaking of music, we will now perform these two shows for you just as they aired, word for word, with sound effects and music and everything in between. Now, while you are listening, you might pretend that you are one of those who had the fortune of being in this live studio audience as they watch their favorite performers do their thing. Or perhaps you might just wish to sit back, close your eyes, and imagine you are sitting in your living room in front of the old Philco radio, anxiously waiting for your favorite show to begin. So now, join us as we take you back to those thrilling days of yesteryear.
Presents, transcribed from Hollywood, The Magnificent Montague, starring Monty Woolley. It was not too long ago that Edwin Montague, the Magnificent Montague of Shakespearean theater fame, would have preferred death rather than sink artistically into the depths of radio or the movies. Today, he's involved in both. He is Uncle Goodhart, star of an afternoon radio program, and now we find him in Hollywood, lured here by Empire Pictures to star in Shakespeare's immortal tragedy, Macbeth, under the name Raoul Randolph. The Montagues, Edwin and his wife, and former leading lady, Lily Bohem, and Agnes the maid, have sublet a small bungalow in Beverly Hills. It is 7 o'clock with the morning Edwin is due at Empire Studio. Agnes and Lily are up and around, waiting for His Majesty to arise.
Hooray for Hollywood! Ha 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 Hollywood!
Agnes, where are you?
Coming, honey. I was just getting a little tan. Oh, this is the life, laying out there on the patio.
That's patio.
Oh.
Agnes, isn't California wonderful after living our entire lives in an apartment in New York?
Yeah.
Oh, the air. Imagine me up at 6:30 in the morning and feeling human.
This is it, kid. Is the magnificent monster up yet?
He has to report to the studio at 8. Agnes, you'd better change. You can't serve breakfast in those shorts and that bandana top.
Are you kidding? ain't getting out of these until we hit Times Square again. Oh, beat me, sunshine, 8 to the bar.
But, Agnes, you can't walk around the house that way.
Look, honey, did you get a load of how the dames go out around here? Compared to them, this is a ski suit.
Agnes, you know how conservative Edwin is. Now, you can't serve him breakfast in that.
Why not? What's wrong with shooting him a little thrill with his Wheaties? I think Hollywood.
Agnes, now you get breakfast ready and I'll get Edwin up. Oh, everything would be so wonderful about Hollywood if only Edwin didn't hate it so.
Oh, that miserable grouch. He would be happy in the Garden of Eden. He complained because his fig leaf didn't have a belt in the back.
Now get his breakfast and I'll wake him up.
Okay, baby. I think Hollywood. Hollywood.
Edwin! Edwin? Edwin, time to get up and go to the studio. Edwin?
Oh, where am I?
Edwin, wake up.
Oh, Lily, it's you. What a horrible night.
Oh, now, darling.
Oh, what a nightmare. I dreamt I was in Hades.
Oh, now, Edwin, you're in your own little bungalow in Hollywood.
Hollywood. The dream was true.
Edwin, you have to be at the motion picture studio at 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. Now I know how they get away with those moving pictures. Oh, they make them in the middle of the night so the authorities can't tell what they're doing.
Oh, Edwin, they have to start early. They have to make tests, makeup, story conferences.
Oh, how low a man can sink. Edwin Montegue in the movies. It's like asking Professor Einstein to do the Charleston.
Edwin, but it's not just another movie. It's Shakespeare's Macbeth. Now come on, get dressed. Agnes has your breakfast ready.
Got him up, huh?
Well, Agnes, doesn't Edwin look wonderful in his sports shirt?
Good morning, Agnes.
Good morning, babe.
Oh, Lily, get her to put something on.
That's her sunsuit.
Some stuff, eh, Buster?
Agnes, is this your way of beating the high price of food? By running around spoiling people's appetites?
How do you think you look with that sports shirt and beard? Looks like the stuffing coming out of a love seat.
Now, please.
Lily, have pity. Must the first thing that greets my eyes in the morning be a middle-aged delinquent running around in polka dot diapers?
Now, Edwin, women out here show their legs.
Well, not those legs. It's like waking up in the middle of an ostrich farm.
Oh, I hope he gets to be a big movie star. I want to be there when they bury him in the cement in front of Grauman's Chinese.
Edwin, you'll be late at the studio. Agnes starts serving.
Okay.
Oh, this is charming. Watching her prance back and forth in that outfit. It's like having breakfast on the runway of a burlesque house.
Edwin, she's just trying to get a tan. That's why she's got that suntan lotion on.
So that's what it is. She looks like something that was left for the cat in a sardine can.
Edwin, will you please relax?
Here's your coffee, Ronald.
Thank you, Hetty. Ah, coffee. Oh,
Oh, Edwin, something wrong with the coffee.
Lily, we're rich. I think Agnes struck oil in the kitchen.
Oh, now, Edwin.
Lily, Agnes is supposed to be our maid. She can't keep house. She can't cook. She can't even make coffee.
Isn't my sparkling personality enough?
Oh, Lily, let's try out our barbecue pit. Agnes is all greased and ready.
Edwin, you'll be late. You have to leave for Empire Studio.
Lily, you'd better come along. I'll never find it.
Oh, nonsense, Edwin.
Every street looks the same out here. The same stucco bungalows and all those trees that all look like they needed haircuts.
But those are palm trees, Edwin. You can walk there. The studio sent instructions.
Lily, come along. I got lost 6 times yesterday. No taxis, no elevators. Yesterday, I got on a bus to go to the radio station and spent the afternoon on it, just seeing movie stars' homes.
Oh, Edwin, it's so simple.
Not for me. I have to remember that they have no subways here. I keep walking down into people's basements.
Now, here are the instructions from the studio. Listen.
Go ahead.
You go 2 blocks till you get to Cahuenga.
What?
Cahuenga. That's a boulevard.
Yes.
Then you go south to Alta Vista until you reach Las Feliz Boulevard. Left on Las Feliz until you get to Graciosa Drive. Then 2 blocks as you pass Estrada Street, El Centro, Figueroa, San Benito, Loma Vista, Puerto Alto, until you get to 8th Street.
8th Street.
Yes.
Why, what a quaint name for a street. Go on.
Now stay on 8th until you get to Sepulveda. Sepulveda to San Marino to Pico, and there you are.
Lily, I had these instructions yesterday and I couldn't find the place. San Marino, Loma Vista, Loma, Santa Pica. Oh, what streets?
Couldn't you ask a policeman to help you?
I did. I asked a policeman, but he couldn't help me. He only spoke English.
Okay, I'm all dressed. Let's go.
Let's go. Where are you going? And why haven't you left months ago?
I'm going to the studio with you.
No.
Edwin, I promised Agnes she could go with you. She wants to see the stars.
I got my autograph book, my smelling salts. Oh, I'm ready for action. I'm ready for Hollywood.
Quiet! Lily, what are you doing to me? First you dressed me up in this outfit, now you've chained Agnes to me. At least give me an organ to grind so we can pick up a few pennies.
Edwin, Agnes won't be any trouble.
You heard her, Buster. She says I'm going and I'm going.
My dear Agnes, I assure you, once the people at the studio see you, Lassie is through.
Edwin, you'll be late. Agnes is going.
All right, put her on the leash. Let's go.
You're sure you have the directions?
Yes, I sewed them inside my sport jacket. Goodbye, Lily. If you never see me again, you will know the state demanded that I pay the price for hurling Agnes into the La Brea tar pits.
Hurry up, lover boy.
Goodbye, Edwin. Bye, Agnes.
So long, honey. I'll take good care of Junior.
Now let's see. We go south on Cahuenga to Las Feliz, then past Graciosa Drive, Alta Vista, Vista Loma, El Centro, El Figueroa. Is that right, Agnes?
Si, senor.
Let's go.
Edwin and Agnes have been walking for an hour, carefully following the instructions to the studio. They have now passed the same nutburger stand for the 4th time.
I told you we should have turned left on Loma Vista.
We did. We went wrong on Las Feliz. You had to chase that woman with your autograph book for 3 blocks. I told you she wasn't Bessie Love.
How about the half hour you wasted with those kids?
No, Agnes, I couldn't be rude to those little tykes. They wanted my autograph.
Till they found out you weren't Gabby Hayes.
This isn't getting us to the Empire Studio. Oh, if only that infernal sun would stop beating down on me. Oh, when I think of those lucky people back in New York, up to their knees in that wonderful, cool slush.
So let's ask somebody.
Ask somebody. We've asked every person we've met. They've either just gotten to town themselves, or they try to tell you a tip sheet for Santa Anita.
Why don't we circle back to Las Feliz Street?
Not again. If I spend any more time on Las Feliz, I'll be eligible to vote there.
Well, maybe if we keep walking... Hey, look, here comes a cab! Yell!
Oh, it's no use. They never stop us here. Taxi! 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 I told you.
Oh, let me try. Hey, you jerk! Come on, he stopped.
Where to, folks?
Get in, Agnes, before he changes his mind.
He does, and he gets a rock through the windshield.
Well, where's it going to be, folks?
Driver, do you know where the Empire Motion Picture Company hides its studio?
Empire? Yeah, let's see. That's in the valley, isn't it?
Judging from the few pictures I've seen of theirs, I would say yes. Death Valley.
Hey, Barney Oldfield, let's go, eh? We got instructions.
According to the instructions, we should wind up on Pico and Sepulveda.
Sepulveda. Gotta get those names right if you want to get around out here. All French, you know. Local joke.
Look, driver, I have to get to Empire Studio.
Well, I'll get you there, folks. You just sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. You folks from the East?
Yeah, Manhattan, New York.
Well, you're in God's country now.
I know.
I don't know what all that shouting is about New York. I was there once. Not a bad little place, but nothing to do at night. Give me a town that has some action, like out here. There's always something to do. If a man wants to bowl, he can bowl. Not like other towns, when the sun goes down, they pull in the sidewalk. Out here, they got bowling alleys that don't close down till 9 or 10 at night.
Gad, it's another Barbary coast.
Now, you take me, for instance. I'd rather bowl than eat. Even got my own bowling ball.
Well, I hope the two of you will be very happy.
Now, don't get the idea that that's all you can do out here at night is bowl. No, sirree, Bob. Tell me, you play bingo?
No, I've led a very sheltered life.
Now, you talk about excitement.
Who was talking about excitement?
Well, about 6 years ago, come April, a fellow and his wife rush into my cab, see, and he yells, Santa Monica Maternity Hospital, quick! Never made it. Halfway there, it happened. Baby was born right in this cab, right where you're sitting. 8-pound boy.
Really?
Well, sir, a year later to the day, another husband and wife hailed me. Cedars of Lebanon Hospital, he yells. Never made it. 6-pound girl right here in this cab, right where you're sitting.
Good.
Say, you two married?
My dear man, I assure you, you have nothing to worry about. Please, I've got to get to Empire Studio. Hurry, will you?
That's you people from the East every time. Hurry, hurry, hurry. We folks out here take it easy. We have a saying, Haste manana.
Haste manana.
Haste manana. It means tomorrow you may die.
From boredom. Right here in the cab. Right where I'm sitting.
Say, would you like to see a few sights?
No.
It's only a few blocks out of the way. I'll show you where I bowl.
No. The temptation is almost overpowering, but I'm fighting it off. Get us to the Empire Studio.
Oh, no, you're gonna get there. Mona Lisa, man, I named you Mona Lisa. Say, you know, I just thought of it. You know what would be a smart thing for you folks to do?
Yes, get out of this cab.
No, you ought to get out there and see that Forest Lawn Cemetery.
Thank you, but we'll let you know when we're ready.
There's a beautiful place for you. Oh, that forest lawn. There's mountains on one side, flowers and plants, those marble mausoleums gleaming in the sun. Everything's so nice and peaceful.
That's living.
How about it? It's not far out of the way.
No, just get us to the studio. I'm an hour late already.
Hey, hold it! Stop!
Agnes!
Oh, that's a movie star's home. Oh, wow, isn't it gorgeous? Whose is it?
Oh, that's a bowling alley. How about it, huh?
How about what?
Like to bowl a couple of strings? I've got my ball right with me.
No, but if you'd like to stop and bowl, why can't we drop you off and drive on?
Oh boy, wouldn't I like to stop off and bowl. The young lady seems to be interested in movie stars' homes. Now, Buster Crab has a little place over there.
Never mind.
You know, sightseeing buses. The movie stars' homes. That's where the real money is. I'm saving up for my own bus.
How interesting. Now get us to the studio quick.
Okay. We'll be there in a minute. I'll just cut across Ventura over to, what was that studio again?
Oh, no.
Well, there's your studio. Pico and Sepulveda.
Hey, Mr. Montague, wake up. We're here.
What is it?
We're here. We're at the studio.
I don't believe it. It must be a mirage. I'm sure in a minute it'll disappear and we'll be back on Las Feliz.
Come on, let's get out of this cab.
I sort of hate to do it. It's like leaving home. After all, we've been living in it for 6 hours.
Hey, look! Walking in the studio, quick! My smelling salts, it's May Bush!
Agnes! All right, driver, how much do I owe you?
Let's see now. Call it $14 even.
$14?
Well, it would have been a lot more, but I stopped the meter while I was showing you around Forest Lawn.
All right. I was trapped. Here's your money. Agnes, let's go.
Hey,
What is it?
I didn't know who you were until I just recognized you.
You did?
Are you kidding? Oh boy, wait until my wife hears that I've been driving around all day with Gabby Hayes.
Here was a day well wasted.
You're not kidding. Come on, let's go in here. Here's the main door.
Let's go in.
Hey, look! There goes Sabu! Hey, Mr. Sabu! Mr. Sabu! Hey!
Agnes, come back! Watch out for that elephant! Oh, why did I bring her? Oh, well, it may all turn out for the good. She might get stepped on. I might as well go in and get the fuss over with.
Yes, sir.
Well, here I am.
And who are you?
You may tell the big brains of this enterprise that Edwin Montague has arrived.
Just what do you do, Mr. Montague?
I'm a tap dancer.
Thank you.
My dear young man, I am Edwin Montague of the New York Theatre, who was dragged out here by your studio to make a motion picture of Shakespeare's great play, Macbeth.
This studio is going to make Macbeth.
Yes.
Oh dear. Here goes another wage cut. Would you please wait in the waiting room, Mr. Montague?
Oh, no.
And here's a magazine to read, the latest issue of Screen Confessions.
Thank you, thank you. What luck, my copy hadn't arrived this month. By the way, if a woman by the name of Agnes is scraped off the bottom of an elephant's foot, put a tag on what's left. I'll pick it up on the way out. You hear?
Yes, sir.
More sitting around. Oh, why did I ever leave Forest Lawn? Compared to this place, Forest Lawn was jazzy. Let me see this magazine. Well, this article looks interesting. How I Found True Happiness in Marriage by Elizabeth Taylor. I wonder who she is. Well, as long as she's happy. Oh, whose picture is this? Marie Wilson. Gad. It says, recently divorced Marie Wilson declares, I am now looking for a man who will love me for only my mind. That'll be a search. What's this?
Pardon me.
Yes?
Mr. Montague, you won't remember me, but when you did Hamlet back in 1935, I was the third assistant stage manager. My name is Walter Lott.
Oh, a pleasure, Mr. Lott. I never expected to meet anyone who was even minutely exposed to culture in Hollywood. Visiting?
No. You see, I'm with this studio. I'm a director.
Shame on you.
Gosh, Mr. Montague, I'm so sorry to see you like this.
Like what?
Well, the magnificent Montague of the theater, hanging around looking for extra work.
Extra work.
Oh, it's unfair. It's a dirty, rotten shame. You gave your life to the theater, and now you have to come begging for a day's work.
I assure you, I am doing very well. This studio practically shanghaied me out here. They are starring me in Macbeth.
Macbeth? This studio? Oh, Mr. Montague, you must be hungry. Let me buy you a meal.
No thanks. I had a cheeseburger at Forest Lawn. I tell you, I am out here to do Macbeth. Take me to someone in charge of this asylum.
Mr. Montague, are you serious?
I assure you, I didn't drag my body 3,000 miles, as the super chief flies, just for the orange juice. Now, are you going to take me to the head of this studio, or must I wait for visiting day?
Macbeth. Mr. Montague, you come with me. I'm taking you right to BB himself.
Thank you.
This way. Here's his private office. Let's go in. Hello, BB. I want you to meet...
Hold it, Wolf!
Yes, BB.
Where's Cornwall?
He's in New York.
New York? What's he doing in New York?
You sent him out there this morning.
Well, get him back here right away. Columbia's cleaning up with Born Yesterday. We start shooting tomorrow on a new picture, Born the Day Before Yesterday.
Check, BB.
Now, what's up, Walt?
BB, I want you to meet one of the greatest actors of the American theater.
Walt, you delivered him. You got him here. Ha, ha, ha. Wait till Republic wakes up tomorrow
see, this isn't Gabby Hayes. This is the greatest actor in the world, the famous Edwin Montague. You've heard of the magnificent Montague?
Yeah, I always thought it was a horse. A horse.
My dear man, I have an overwhelming desire to puncture your eardrum and let the air out of that balloon head.
Mr. Montague.
Of all the insufferable, stupid boobs.
Walter, I like this boy. I like his spirit. Buy him. Buy me that boy. I must have that boy.
But, BB, he's
a national for the comedy bellhop and ladies' night at the YMCA.
A bellhop. I'm reaching new heights.
But, BB...
Quiet.
BB,
Where's Corngold?
just left New York for Hollywood.
Well, catch him in Chicago and send him back to New York to buy that ladies' night story. Tell him we're desperate. The sky's the limit. Up to $200.
Check, BB.
Mr. Montague came here for Macbeth.
I don't care. We'll pay him double of what Macbeth is willing to pay him. Buy me that boy. I want that boy.
But Macbeth is... Mr. Montague, show BB. Show him Macbeth.
Macbeth, Act 5, Scene 8. I will not yield to kiss the ground before young Malcolm's feet. Before my body I throw my warlike shield. Lay on Macduff. Ho-ho!
BB,
Where's Corngold?
he's on his way back to New York.
What's he doing? Chasing games? I want him on the lot tomorrow. We finally going ahead with Way Down on the Ozarks. We found our hall color.
Look, BB, listen. Mr. Montague came out here to do Macbeth. It's a play by William Shakespeare.
Well, get it for him. Buy it. I like this boy. When I like someone, anything they want, they can have. You want Macbeth? Buy it for him. I want my boy to be happy.
Buy it? You...
BB,
Where's Corngold?
he just landed in Chicago.
He's always in Chicago. Tell him to get hold of a writer called Bill Shakespeare. Bring him to Hollywood. I'd like to see this Shakespeare in my office tomorrow morning.
So would I.
Like the way I work, huh? Anything from my boy, and you're my boy.
BB, for heaven's sake. Look, Shakespeare is dead.
BB,
Where's Corngold?
he just left Chicago.
What's he always got against Chicago? Contact him on the plane. Tell him Shakespeare is dead. He can release it to the newspapers. Something dignified. The studio regrets the untimely death of William Shakespeare. You know, get him a couple of plugs for the picture, send flowers.
Got it.
Tell him to track down Shakespeare's widow and buy Macbeth from her. And tell him, for just once, for Pete's sakes, not to go on the make. She just buried her husband.
Check, BB.
There it is. You asked for it, Montague. You got your Macbeth. You're my boy, and for my boy, anything.
BB, listen. Macbeth is a kind of play.
Yeah. What's it about? King Kong type of thing? We've got a great monkey on the lot.
Could he ever feel more at home?
BB, Macbeth is a classic.
Allow me to explain. Look, BB.
What's with this BB? Just call me B.
Yes. Look, B. Macbeth is a classic.
About the Kentucky Derby.
No, this is the story of an ancient Scotch king.
Hold it! Hold it! Hold it! Is there a Dane in it?
Yes, Lady Macbeth.
Whoa!
Where's Corngold?
Who needs Corngold? This is my discovery.
Discovery?
What a day for the studio. I got the name for Lady Macbeth. She'll be sensational. I just discovered her today.
Yes, BB.
Did you find a name for our new discovery?
Yes, Bubbles Borden.
Bubbles Borden. Terrific.
Bubbles Borden as Lady Macbeth.
You don't like the name? Change it. You're my boy. Anything for you. Send in Bubbles Borden. Mr. Montague, here is your Lady Macbeth. Agnes!
Mr. Montague, get me out of here. These guys are nuts.
You two know each other? Get romance items in all the columns.
Now, wait a minute. Before the proper authority drops a net on all of us and cuts us away, why do you want to do Macbeth?
Yeah, BB, we're a tiny little studio. Why Macbeth?
Think I'm dumb? some new star, Raoul Randolph. We'll make it with Montague in 2 days and beat it to the punch.
Oh, no. I'm in the wrong studio. Let's get out of here, Agnes.
Coming.
Now, wait a minute. Wait, my boy.
It's this way out, Agnes.
I'm with you.
How did you ever get involved here?
Who knows? I was halfway up the elephant to get Sabu's autograph when somebody yelled, "Barbie, that girl!" and slammed me in Alakazam. I was bubble sporting at $25 a week.
What an outfit. They offered me 50.
You gonna check into Empire?
Not today. I don't want to hear another word about Hollywood stars or pictures as long as I live. Let's go home.
Oh, there's a can.
No cabs. Here, get on this bus.
Okay.
And now, folks, the first movie star's home that you're going to see on this sightseeing bus is the home of Buster Grab.
Oh, no! My money! He bought the bus!
And as an added treat, I'm taking you all to Forest Lawn, the most beautiful cemetery in the world.
Oh! Will you join me, Bubbles?
Yes, Raoul.
Hooray
All right,
for
Hollywood. Hollywood.
Join us again next Friday at this same time for another visit with The Magnificent Montegue, starring Monty Woolley. Created and directed by Nat Hiken and written by Nat Hiken and Billy Freeborn. And Seymour was Lily, Bert Kelton was Agnes. Included in tonight's cast were Alan Reed as Bibi, Peter Leeds as the receptionist, and Jim Backus as the cab driver, and Walter Lott. This is Eddie King saying, stay tuned for Duffy's Tavern, which follows immediately.
In the cool, cool, cool of the evening, tell them I'll be there.
In the cool, cool, cool of the evening, better save a chair.
When the party's getting a glow on and singing fills the air. In the shake of the night,
When the doings are right,
you can tell them we'll be there. I'd like a barbecue,
I'd like to boil a ham.
and I vote for bouillabaisse stew.
I'd like a moody baked steak and a layer cake.
And you'll get a tummy ache too. We'll rent a tent or teepee, let the town crier cry.
And if it's RSVP, this is what I'll reply.
In the cool, cool, cool of the evening, tell them we'll be there. If you need a pair of freeloaders to fracture your affair,
Maybe even give him pagliacci.
now stand back and give him air. Everyone can relax, and we'll have a few yet, and you can tell them we'll be there. We said the bumblebee, let's have a jubilee. When said the prairie hen soon?
Sure, said the dinosaur. Where, said the grizzly bear? Under the light of the moon.
How about your brother, jackass? Everyone gaily cried. Are you coming to the fracas? And over his specs he sighed. In the cool, cool, cool of the evening, tell them we'll be there. In the cool, cool, cool of the evening, slick 'em on my hair. If perchance we look a bit peaked, remember, see the care. If we're still on our feet and there's something to eat,
If there's gas in my hat and my laundry is back,
if there's room for one more and you need me,
why sure.
if you need a new face for a tenor or bass,
If I can climb out of bed and put a hat on my head,
well, you can tell them we'll be there.
The Lucky Strike Program, starring Jack Benny, with Mary Livingston, Rochester, Dennis Day, Bob Crosby, the Sportsman Quartet, and yours truly, Don Wilson.
Hello, this is CBS, the Star's Address. May I help you?
operator, with the change of time from daylight back to standard, could you tell me what program is on at 4 o'clock?
Just a minute. Say, Mabel, what program's on today at 4 o'clock?
I don't know, Gertrude. I'll look it up in this radio guide.
Hold it, Mabel, hold it.
Huh?
Look whose picture's on age 8.
Well, take off my glove and dial with my naked finger. If it ain't Jack Benny. He's not only handsome, but look at that strong chin. What character.
Some character. One night last week, he drove me up to Mulholland Drive, pulled over to a lonely spot, turned off the ignition and said, well, what do you know, I'm out of gas.
No.
Yeah. So I said I'd be very happy to buy some.
I'll bet that embarrassed him.
Embarrassed him nothing. He siphoned a gallon out of his tank and sold it to me. Now, Mabel, you can't say mad at a man like Jack Benny. Just look at that picture. The way he's standing there so casual and nonchalant, with his coat thrown over his arm.
Yeah, and just look at those muscles.
Muscles? Where?
On the floor. They fell out of his sleeve.
Oh, yeah. Yes?
Operator, this is Jack Benny.
Gertrude, what's the matter?
He's waiting for applause.
I'm not waiting for applause. I'm in my dressing room. Now, operator, with the change of time today, I'd like to check my watch. What time is it, please?
It's 20 minutes to 4.
20 minutes to 4? That's funny. I've got 20 minutes to 3.
Hold on. Mabel, what time have you got?
20 minutes to 5.
No, honey. You moved your watch ahead an hour, and you were supposed to move it back. Gee, are you dumb?
Well, I'm not as dumb as Jack Benny. He didn't move it at all.
How could he? His muscles fell out of his sleeves.
Operator, I heard that, and I'm going to report you. That Gertrude thinks she's smart. That's the last time I give her Ethel for the price of regular. Let's see, where did I put my... Oh! So you finally got here.
Hello, boss.
Rochester, you know I'm always nervous before doing a program. Why do you have to be late?
Late? I got 20 minutes to 2.
Well, no wonder. Our watches are all mixed up, and it's your fault.
My fault?
Yeah. What were you supposed to do at 2 o'clock this morning?
What I always do. Tiptoe in your room and put a hot water bottle on your feet.
Is that all you did?
Well, I must confess, boss, I tickled your toes a little.
Oh, was that you?
Yeah, when I saw the way you had your arms around that pillow, I figured you were expecting something.
Rochester, I always sleep with my arms around a pillow.
I know, but last night you looked at it and said, don't you think you can live as twice as cheap as one?
Gee, I do the silliest things in my sleep. I can understand putting my arms around a pillow, but talking to it. Rochester, why didn't you wake me up?
I hated to cut in, boss. You were dancing.
Ah. Well, Rochester, I'm going down the hall to Miss Livingston's dressing room. I'll see you later. She thought it's great after being out late, walking my pillow back home. Mary, are you in there?
Just a minute, Jack. I'm not dressed yet. Oh, Pauline?
Yes, Miss Livingston?
Mr. Benny wants to come in. Help me into my dress, please.
Yes, ma'am. Miss Livingston, how long has he been on your program?
Well, Pauline, it isn't my program. It's Mr. Benny's. Mr. Benny's the star. I just work for him, and he pays me a very nice salary. Not as much as I pay you, but a very nice salary. Pauline, how does my dress look?
Well, it looks all right, Miss Livingston. But if I were you, I'd wear it a little shorter. You have such good legs.
Thanks, Pauline.
It's too bad you only have 2 of them.
What?
Well, what I mean is, when you got something so nice, it's too bad you can't have more of it.
Well, believe me, Pauline, every girl who has nice legs is perfectly satisfied with just 2 of them. After all, who'd look at a girl with 3 legs?
Everybody.
why it takes women so long to get dressed. Men don't take that long. Rochester throws me together in 5 minutes. Sometimes quicker.
Oh, Jack! Jack!
Oh, Bob. I thought you were on stage rehearsing the band.
Well, I stood it just as long as I could.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, Jack, when I agreed to take over the same orchestra you always had, I didn't know what I was getting into.
What?
These guys are driving me nuts.
Why? What's wrong?
Well, look, in the first place, I'm stuck with an electric guitar player whose nose lights up.
I know.
Yeah, but there's a trombone player who's chained to the guy sitting next to him.
Look, Bob.
And a drummer with a candle on his head because it's his birthday.
Bob.
And I'm not even going to mention the accordion player who cracks peanuts in the pleats.
Well, Bob, just have patience. I'm sure...
Mr. Benny!
Well, what is it, Dennis?
Tom Wilson is looking all over for you. You should have started the program 15 minutes ago.
15 minutes ago? I've got 3:15.
I've got 4:15.
Dennis, what does your watch say?
Boulevard.
I don't mean that. Anyway, kids, if we're 15 minutes late, we better get out on the stage.
Jack, where have you been? Hurry!
Look, Don, this is not my fault.
What the program?
Don, daylight savings time got me mixed up. We still have plenty of time to do the sketch, so just take it easy. While I'm handing out the scripts, Dennis...
It's 4:15.
I know that! Do your song.
Okay. There's a tiny house. By a tiny stream. Where a lovely lass. Had a lovely dream. And her dream came true. Quite unexpectedly. In Gilly, Austin, Pfeffer, Katzenell, and Bogan by the sea. She was out one day. Where the tulips grow. When a handsome lad. Stopped to say hello. And before she knew. He kissed her tenderly. In Gilly, Austin, Pfeffer, Katzenell, and Bogan by the sea. The happy pair were married one Sunday afternoon. They left the church and ran away to spend their honeymoon in a tiny house. By a tiny stream. Where the lovely lass. Had a lovely dream. And the last I heard. They still lived happily in Gilly, Austin, Pfeffer, Katzenell, and Bogan by the sea. In Gilly, Austin, Pfeffer, Katzenell, and Bogan by the sea. So now you've heard the story of how it all begun.
I think I'd like to go there.
That's a good idea, son. In very soft, pianissimo, like a little bird, walking in the snow. That was very nice. Now sing it merrily. It's Gilly, Austin, Pfeffer, Katzenell, and Bogan by the sea. It's Gilly, Austin, Pfeffer, Katzenell, and Bogan by the sea. In Gilly, Austin, Pfeffer, Katzenell, and Bogan by the sea.
That was Dennis Day singing Gilly, Austin, Pfeffer, Katzenell, and Bogan by the sea.
Jack, which sketch are we going to do?
We're going to do a satire on that wonderful picture, High Noon, which starred Gary Cooper. I am going to be playing the leading role.
You don't even know what time it is.
Don, turn to page 12 and introduce our play.
Okay, Jack.
Bob, is the orchestra ready?
Well, some of the boys are sitting up.
Good. Take it, Don.
Ladies and gentlemen, for our feature attraction of the evening, we're going to present our version of that epic of the West, the Stanley Kramer production of High Noon. is 1875. The place, the little town of Hadleyville. The scene is in the office of the Justice of the Peace.
I'm the town marshal, and my name is Gary Kane. This is my wedding day. Yep. Right this moment, I'm a-getting married to my sweetheart, Amy.
Do not forsake me, oh my darling, on this our wedding day. Do not forsake me, oh my darling.
Do you, Amy, take this man to be your lawful wedded husband?
I do.
Do you, Gary, take Amy for your lawful wedded wife?
Yep.
Now repeat after me, Amy. I, Amy, take thee, Gary, to love, honor, and cherish.
I, Amy, take thee, Gary, to love, honor, and cherish.
Now you, Gary. I, Gary, take thee, Amy, to love, honor, and cherish.
I, Gary, take thee, Amy, to love, honor, and cherish.
And with all my worldly goods I thee endow.
And with...
Come on, say it. And with all my worldly goods I thee endow.
I, Gary, take thee, Amy, to love, honor, and cherish.
Justice, I even had to buy the ring.
I now pronounce you man and wife.
Gary, my husband.
Amy, my bride, kiss me.
It's customary for the Justice of the Peace to get the first kiss.
Stand aside, Amy. The man wants to kiss me.
I mean her!
Oh. Come on, Amy. Let's get going on our honeymoon.
Gee, Gary, I'm so glad you're going to give up your job as marshal and put those awful guns away.
Yes, Amy. Now we can have a peaceful life.
Marshal!
Yeah? What's up?
Terrible news! Frank Miller has been released from jail!
No.
Yeah, and he's arriving in town at high noon!
High noon?
Yes, high noon! And 3 of his henchmen are waiting at the railroad station to meet him!
Where are my guns? And I better swear in some deputies. I gotta get Frank Miller before he gets me.
Gary, tell me, what's this all about?
Amy, 5 years ago I arrested Frank Miller and sent him to jail. He vowed he'd kill me when he got out. Well, I gotta get him first.
But Gary, you may be killed. I don't want to become a widow on our wedding day. I want to go on a honeymoon.
Look, Amy, I can't run away. You wouldn't want to be married to a coward, would you?
I'd do anything to get out of the May Company.
It was then that I realized that Amy, spelled sideways, was May. But I had my duty to perform, even if it meant losing Amy. Went outside and walked the hot, dusty, deserted streets, looking in vain for men to serve as deputies.
Go to me, tortoise, love and beauty, supposing I lose my fair-haired beauty. Look at that big hand move along, here in high noon. He made a vow while in state prison, vowed it would be my life or his own.
I went everywhere looking for deputies. I went to the homes and the general store. I went to the town saloon. In fact, we had a scene in the saloon, but we cut it because Phil Harris is on another network. Finally, I went looking for desperate Dennis McNulty, a man who had been my assistant. Suddenly, I saw him. He came riding towards me.
Whoa! Easy now! Easy! Easy, old paint!
I never had the heart to tell him. He rode that cow everywhere. In fact, he was the man who originated the white line down the middle of the street. He dismounted and he said,
Hi, Gary. Congratulations. I heard you just got married.
That's right, I did.
Who'd you marry? The school teacher?
Oh, why?
Well, they always do in westerns.
Look, I haven't got time to talk about that. I'm in trouble, Frank. I'm in trouble, Frank Miller's coming back to town to kill me. I need help. Also a rehearsal.
You sure do. You sure came to the right man. I'll help you.
You will? You mean you're not afraid?
Of course not. When I see Frank Miller, I'll sneak up behind him.
Uh-huh.
Then I'll stick my gun in his back and say, "Feet up."
You mean hands up?
No, feet up. Pat him on the poke pole.
What?
Let's hear him.
As I left him, he turned the cow over on its back and was milking it. Looked like the fountain at Wilshire in Santa Monica. I kept walking on through the town looking for help. The streets were deserted. It was getting close to high noon, and I had to find somebody to deputize, so I just kept walking.
We think it's time for our commercial. This sketch may take all day. We want to sing about those Luckies, those good old Luckies, fine tasting Luckies, 'cause Lucky Strike's our favorite brand. Everyone's tearing and comparing, everyone's standing round and staring. Look at that big hand move along, nearing high noon. Lucky's are so much better tasting, little another days are wasted. He's not afraid of death, but oh, what will he do without Lucky's? No truer words were ever spoken. We heard them from our ma and pa. Remember when those guns start smoking? Be sure it's Lucky's, those good old Lucky's, so free and easy on the draw. LSM, MFT, LSM, FT.
Time was running short, and still I could find no one to help me. I was a marked man. No one would even come near me. This was the days before chlorophyll. I didn't even know what to do. In my search for help, I wandered down to the Mexican Quarter. I came upon a group of people who were having a fiesta. Needing a deputy badly, I approached one of the men and said, "Pardon me, senor, but do you know who I am?"
Sí.
You know there's a man out to kill me?
Sí.
Would you be willing to help me?
Sí.
What's your name?
Sai.
Sai?
Sí.
Now you, senorita, are you his sister?
Sí.
Is it all right if your brother helped me?
Sí.
What's your name?
Conchita Guadalupe Lolita Hernandez Gonzalez Clarita Del Prado Ramona Rosita Ramirez.
Conchita Guadalupe Lolita Hernandez Gonzalez Clarita Del Prado Ramona Rosita Ramirez?
Sí.
But that name's too long. What can I call you?
Sue.
Sue?
Sí.
But I was talking to her, wasn't I?
Sí.
What do you do for a living?
So.
So?
Sí.
Cut that out! I appreciated her offer to help. But I couldn't take a chance on Conchita Guadalupe Lolita Hernandez Gonzalez Clarita Del Prado Ramona Rosita Ramirez getting killed. To drive the tombstone maker nuts. And I had to make up my mind. I wasn't going to wait for Miller to come looking for me. I decided to go down to the railroad station and wait for him.
He made a vow while in state prison, vowed it would be my life or isn't. I'm not afraid of death, but oh, what will I do if you leave me?
reached the railroad station. Frank Miller's train was due to arrive at high noon. There was only a few minutes to wait. I went inside.
Train now loading on track 5 for Anaheim, Azusa, and Cucamonga.
I was alone in the station, except for one cowboy. Thinking I could make him a deputy, I went over to talk to him. What's your name, partner?
Tex Crosby.
Tex, eh? Then you were born in Texas.
Nah, I was born in Louisiana. But ain't nobody gonna call me Louis.
That's an old joke.
Well, it was new in 1875.
Oh, yes. Well, what are you doing here anyway, Tex?
Well, I'm waiting for Frank Miller to arrive. We're gonna kill the town marshal.
Oh, you are, eh? Well, I'm the town marshal, and I'm gonna kill you.
Train now leaving on track 5 for Anaheim, Azusa, and Cook.
I'll give you a fighting chance. When I count to 3, draw and shoot.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Ah! Amonga.
I got you, Tex. As he lay there, he reminded me of his brother. He was a groaner too. Now I'd gotten rid of one of the killers. The high noon train pulled into the station. It came to a stop. Frank Miller got off the very last car, where he was met by his 2 remaining henchmen. This was my date with destiny. There fell a lonely silence as I walked toward the 3 men who waited to kill me. Alone in the blazing noonday sun, my hands on my guns, as slowly I kept a-going towards them. My clumsy sound woman got up, and I continued walking. My hand was sweating. My throat was dry. I knew that within 1 minute either they or I would be dead. As soon as I got within pistol range, I drew my gun and fired. Yep, I killed all 3 of them, without giving them a chance to talk. This wasn't the way it was done in the picture, but I know how to save money on actors. I was safe now. My only problem now was whether to ask my wife to come back to me, or go looking for Conchita Guadalupe Lolita Cruzada Ramirez. But regardless of the mix-up in daylight saving time, I and the whole town knew it was high noon. We're a little late, so good night, folks.
Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed our comedic look at the classic films and the crazy world of Hollywood. Keep an eye out for our future upcoming shows later on in the spring as we bring you recreations of some exciting adventure shows like The Lone Ranger, Dragnet, and The Shadow. And you can always check out our website, www.ttdyradio.com, for more information, as well as view archive photos and read fond memories from all our past shows. And now, the cast of those thrilling days of yesteryear. John Corona as the receptionist and Jack Benny. As the craft driver, justice of the peace, the train announcer, and one of our sportsman quartet, Don Gingle. Playing BB, Cy, and one of the sportsman quartet, John Gould. And Conchita Guadalupe, Lolita Hernandez, Gonzalez, Clarita del Prado, Ramona, Rosita Ramirez, Margie Gustafson. Mercer, Bob Crosby, and one of the Sportsman Quartet, Doug Page. Let's not forget Edward Montegue and Don Wilson, played by Wally Roach. Agnes and Pauline was Julie Rogers-Baker. The role of Rochester was Oak Park resident Dan Turlow. And Mary Livingston and the lovely cool singer, Pam Turlow. The other cool singer and Wally Lott, the man from Brooklyn, and the Sportsman Quartet, and the cow, Aaron Wolfenson. And what radio show would be complete without the synchronous sound effect stylings of Pam Turlow and Julie Rogers-Baker? And special thanks goes to the magnificent musical magic of Bob Maureen on the piano. And I'm your producer, who also played Dennis Day, Ben Dooley. We'd like to extend our thanks to you, the audience, for once again helping our show to come alive, and for living those thrilling days of yesteryear so that we could bring them back to you. Thank you so much for coming, and now make your way over to the lovely concession stand for some lovely treats. Thank you.